Hello and welcome to the Scott Ballard Show right here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Cory Prudoehl, joined as always by the head women's basketball coach, Scott Ballard.
Hi, Cory.
Coach, last week of the regular season, that's now in the rearview mirror, but let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
A really good win on Friday against Wayne State, number 16 team in the nation. One of the better wins of the season, if not the best win for you. Then a little bit of a disappointment on Saturday against Augustana. But let's start with that Wayne State game. A big win. I know you were pretty happy with it, so just kind of talk me through it.
Well, I was happy with how our players executed the game plan. The first time we played Wayne, we didn't play very well, and they did, and they forced us to turn the ball over a lot. We weren't very smart with the way that we tried to attack the zone. We didn't get the ball in the lane very much or use the high post area very much, and that's what you need to do. I mean, the reason people play zone is to slow you down, force you to do most of your scoring outside the lane. They usually don't foul very much. You can get very many opportunities there when you play against the zone. They do a really good job of getting back on defense. There's very few transition opportunities. So usually the two most challenging things when you're playing zone is rebounding and being aware and shadowing the three-point shooters. Well, they do a really good job with keeping track of where your shooters are. So there's not very many wide open threes. They play a big zone. They bring it out a long ways. But we did a really good job of getting the ball to the high post area the entire game. We got people in foul trouble. We got to the free throw line a lot. We rebounded very well. We had, I think, 15 offensive rebounds. And I just give our kids a lot of credit for their effort and their awareness and their execution. And we took care of the basketball. So that limited Wayne's opportunities to get in transition. They didn't get very many easy scoring opportunities. We opened up a 10-point lead at halftime, went on a nice run start second half and got it up to 18. But like all good teams, they're going to make a run. Yep. And they didn't make a big run, but they had 2 or 3 mini runs of like 6-0, whatever, in the second half. They eventually get within 4 with, like just close to 2 minutes to go in the game. And they had a lot of momentum. But Connor Nagel hit a big 3 from the baseline corner late in the shot clock to put us up 7. We got a couple stops. They had to foul. We made our free throws and won, a big game against. They won the league, the overall and the South Division title, well deserving.
Yep.
They had won 14 games in a row coming in here, and they held us to 44 points the first time we played. So. They were second leading scoring team in the league. We held them to 56 points. We out-rebounded them by 15. It was just a really complete 40-minute game at both ends of the floor. Great team effort. We got great play from our bench. Jenny Whelan was huge off the bench. Kayla and Katie Zepsik, they didn't get a lot of scoring opportunities, but they were big on defense. They were big on the boards. They made some nice passes out on the perimeter. And Tara Roloff had a breakout game from three-point land. She was 5 of 6, I think, from three-point land, which helped pick up. Alexis had a difficult weekend shooting the basketball, but she was still important to us. I can't remember how many assists she had. She didn't have a turnover the entire game. She defended well, distributed the ball well, and was a big reason, for us, having success. And then the next night against Augustana, a team that we dominated, for a half at their place, and then we led for 38 minutes, and then they made a run. And Ashley, she took over probably last 10 minutes of the game at their place, and they stole that game from us. And then they came in here and they were ready to play. They press all the time, and we knew that. And they didn't change anything up on their press, but we were fine with it the first 11 minutes of the game, and then we started turning the ball over a little bit into backcourt, and then we turned it over a little bit after we crossed half court. That gave them some opportunities to get out in transition, and they hit some threes, and Ashley was just very aggressive the whole game. It's hard to keep her from getting dribble penetration, and because that's what sets up the three-point shooters. But she was hitting threes, 4 feet behind the line. She was hitting pull-up J's from 15 feet. She was getting to the rim, getting fouled, kicking it out, and she kind of had our heads spinning. But things were under control until the last 8 minutes of the first half, and we had a rash of turnovers that led to easy scores for them. And I think we were down 18 or 19 at halftime. Second half, we were better. We only had 6 turnovers in the second half. We outscored them by 1, but we had dug a hole that we couldn't get out of against a quality team. So, they beat us, and we helped them with some of our poor decisions in the back court, and then we kind of lost some patience in the front court when we got down, 10, 15 points. So that kind of played into their hands. But going into that weekend, with who we were playing, 2 regionally ranked teams, to walk away with a split, a lot of people would be happy with that. Later on, after all the games were played that night, we found out that Mankato won. So even had we beaten Augie, it wouldn't have changed our seed for the conference tournament, but it would have helped us for regional ranking purposes.
Yep. So now looking forward, you had a season that surpassed most people's expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not your own,
yeah.
but a 19-7 overall record. That doesn't really matter anymore.
No, it's a new season.
Basically, you're 0-0 right now.
Yeah.
How do you kind of ingrain that into your
Yeah.
players, that everything you just accomplished,
Mm-hmm.
it's great,
Well,
but it doesn't really matter now?
Well, what we have done over 3 months has earned us the right to get to play at home. And, even though we lost on Saturday, it's our first loss at home. I am so glad that we're playing here than having to go to Bismarck and play Mary. We had to do that a year ago. It's their turn. But, they're a challenging matchup. If there's another team in the league that closely resembles the style of play of Augie, it's Mary, especially on the offensive end. But we had to come from behind both halves the first time we played them here to win that game. We were very fortunate. I feel like we can play better. I'm sure they do too. We're both more familiar with each other's personnel now than we were the first meeting. They split last weekend. They lost at Duluth, but then they turned around and beat St. Cloud in overtime. So it'll be a good game, and it'll be a game that is challenging for us defensively, because they have 5 different players that really shoot the 3 well. They can spread you out. The Dietz girl is she's a first-team all-conference player. I think she's top 3 in the league in scoring.
Yep.
She really can dribble drive you, get to the line, set up, three-point shooters that complement her game. They have a big kid inside that had 17 on us the first time. So they are a challenge, and it'll come down to, just doing all the little things fundamentally well for a longer period of time than they do. But I am glad that we're at home, and we hope that the community will come out and support us. And we wish it was a doubleheader with the men, but they're going to Duluth and coming off of a good weekend. So it's a fun time of the year. Is there pressure knowing that it's one and done? For everyone except probably those teams in top 4 in the regional rankings. Everybody else is in situations where they got to win a couple games at least. But our next goal is to win this game on Wednesday and get to make it a road trip to Sioux Falls. And we missed out on that opportunity last year when we lost at Mary by 6, and we feel like this is a great opportunity. We're excited about it. Things will be intense. There's a sense of urgency for everyone this time of year, and that makes it fun. You just can't let the pressure of that interfere with your emotions, interfere with your execution. And in that Augie game on Saturday, even though we lost, it wasn't for lack of effort. I was proud of our our kids for how hard they played and how many runs that they tried to make in the second half. But it came down to poor execution as far as taking care of the basketball. So we're looking forward to Wednesday and the rest of the week.
Yeah, well, tournament time now, so it should be a fun time. Everyone talks about March Madness.
Yeah,
it's the end of February. It's here. Can't ask for much more as a basketball coach, I'm sure.
Well, everybody talks about the big dance. That's referring to getting in the national tournament. Well, going to the Pentagon and playing in Sioux Falls, that's a little dance.
Absolutely.
And so you just take it one step at a time, one game at a time, like you have all year long, and prepare and go out and bust your tail and compete as hard as you can, as smart as you can, and hope things fall your way.
Yep, and like you said, that one game starts tomorrow as you welcome in the University of Mary to McCown Gym at 7 p.m. As you said, hopefully the community can come and join us, and all of you watching will be out there in support in the Winona State women's basketball team tomorrow, and then throughout, hopefully, a long postseason run. Until then, we'll see you next time right here on Scott Ballard Show on the Warrior Sports Network.